They're hunting the paranormal with metal in their veins. No fear in their hearts as they break the chains of the supernatural. They will not rest until they face the demons, put them to the test.
What is up, everybody? It is Sunday. It is 8:01 Pacific Standard Time. Do you know where your cryptids are?
Hey, he's behind me here. He's waiting for the cryptids to come back, I think. He's missing his buddies.
So, as always, top of the hour, T-shirts. We're still working on a suitable company to produce these things. I am wearing the Unleashed version. I did have on the War Room version earlier, and by the way, I was wearing the hashtag not Zach Baggins all day Saturday, and I got a lot of questions and a lot of comments and a lot of people liking it.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was the high point to the dark market, besides seeing all of our friends, was people stopped me going, "What's this shirt say?" And then I flip the jacket open and they see it and they're like, "I like that. Where can we get that?" I said, "Well, we're working on it. Here's my card. It'll hopefully be, might be next year that these things go live."
It's only a couple of weeks away.
It's only a couple weeks away.
That's all.
Anyways, we are on, what else is top of the hour?
The fact I'm going to miss most of next month, next month.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're getting toys for the needy, so.
But if it, like I was telling you before you jumped on, if it goes as long as I think it is, I'll be in 5-10 minutes, so I won't miss a whole lot. I just won't get drunk. That's the problem. I'm just kidding. But no, yeah. So if I can get done in a fashionable time, I'll be jumping on while you guys are talking.
So James will be here just a little bit late. Also, we are officially in pre-production of our documentary. We have a poster. I think we have a name. It was the Beast of the Blue Gate Beast, or the Blue Gate Bigfoot that we liked better. I think it was the Beast of Blue Gate.
I don't think Beast. I don't. The other one.
The Blue Gate. Bigfoot of Blue Gate.
Yeah. The Beast just makes him out to really be a beast.
Well, I mean, if we're the Beast of Blue Gate sounds good since Silent Negan. Plus, I mean, if we are talking about either Bigfoot or Dogman, so the Beast could be
the Dogman.
Either or. It could. Hey, you know what? We were talking about doing 2 movies next year.
Yeah. Well, yes, we know the Beast covers all. Come on, we're being a little more to the point.
Well, I mean, technically, why don't we just shoot both films next year?
Doing both at once.
Same area. We just have the Beast. Well, I'll make up a new poster with the Dogman instead of the Bigfoot. And that'll be the Beast of the Blue. The Beast of Blue Gate will be the Dogman version, and then we'll put the Blue Gate Bigfoot.
It sounds good.
Jamie Logan says Mysteries of Blue Gate. That might be the 3rd movie where we let Josh just put a camera on him and send him off in the woods by himself,
so he can go pet the puppy.
So he can pet the puppy,
or be the sacrificial.
But yes, we are now officially in pre-production on that. So Silent Megan says he's down for petting the puppy. So there we go. Mysteries of Blue Gates.
Actually,
that could probably be the series. We can make a whole series out of this.
True. Just naming
The Mystery of the Blue Gate series, the Bigfoot, the Beast,
and whatever else comes.
whatever else comes along. Anyway, so
And
that's all we
Josh and
got
the
for the
puppies.
Josh and the
Josh and the
puppies.
So we are at the end of the month, and this is season 5, episode 4. It is the finale of the Paranormal Investigators month. James
Yeah.
is looking forward to having a few more drinks of his herbal.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Go ahead, Tammy. Take it away. It is all yours.
And by the way,
Okay, well,
did you
tonight we dedicate
this.
this episode is dedicated to you, James.
Dedication. Love it.
So welcome to our 4th episode of season 5. We are excited to have a story that's filled with horror, controversy, possible fraud, scandalous secrets, and most of all, King James' favorite paranormal couple. Yes, we're going to talk about Ed and Lorraine Warren. We've talked about them a lot this season, and they've shown up in our haunted houses, our exorcisms, murders, and more. But who really are the Warrens? So let's spend tonight getting to learn more about this infamous set of teenage sweethearts. So Edward Warren was born September 7th, 1926, and Lorraine Rita Moran was born January 31st, 1927. Ed Warren and Lorraine Moran came from Catholic families in Bridgeport, Connecticut. As a teenager, Lorraine was already convinced of her trance medium abilities. She was 9 years old when she began to see auras and around people and predict the future. Initially, she believed that this was normal. But, Ed also shared paranormal experiences. When he was a child, he witnessed a flicker of light transform into an apparition of his family's deceased landlady. He also witnessed random, unexplained phenomena, like doors that would open on their own. In 1944, when they were teenagers, they met at a local movie theater where Ed worked. They became very serious in their dating, and then Ed enlisted in the Navy the same year at the age of 17 and left Lorraine behind. But just 4 months after he was deployed to the Pacific on a ship that was aiding the Allied forces against Japan, his ship collided with a tanker in the North Atlantic in the icy seas. Very few of the sailors survived, but Ed was a lucky one. He came home on a survivor's leave and quickly married the love of his life, Lorraine. Now, it got really weird during doing the research on this part of it, because everything I read, there was a different story about the boat. His story is he saved all these lives, and he was the super awesome survivor superhero guy. And according to grunge.com, the ship that Warren was on collided with the tanker, causing it to slowly sink into the sea. Warren and his shipmates were all forced to jump overboard in the cold ocean water. Bobbing with the waves, a freezing Warren prayed for his life and his safe return home to his teenage sweetheart, Lorraine. Soon after, Warren and his fellow seamen were pulled from the freezing waters and placed on a rescue ship. Navy protocol dictated that Warren be sent home on a 30-day pass as part of the military's survivor's leave. On his temporary reprieve from his active military duties, he raced home to New England to see Lorraine. He had a question he needed to ask her, and it couldn't wait for the war to be over.
Oh.
Okay, so So the first discrepancies in the research I found was, one source claims that Ed Warren was on a World War II. He was a World War II Navy veteran, but the ship he was on did not sink. Another source claimed that the heavy cruiser, the USS Indianapolis, is a ship that sank in the Pacific with Ed Warren on board. And he was a crew member among the survivors of the sinking, which occurred in July 1945 after the ship was torpedoed. The sinking details is it was struck by 2 Japanese torpedoes and sank in 12 minutes. Ed Warren's role is he was a crew member on the ship and survived the disaster. But something else said it was a different Warren that was on that. And then his son-in-law tells a different story. It said that Ed Warren enlisted in the U.S. Navy on September 7th, 1943. It was Ed's 17th birthday. He initially attempted to enlist in the Marine Corps when he was 15, but was turned away from recruiters when they found out. So, but then he recalled that he was, while he was in the Navy, different things had happened. But in this, it said it was February 5th, 1943, in the dead of winter, the ship, the Spring Hill, that was somewhere in the North Atlantic, said it was a cold, windy, blustery night. All the men were below deck except for those on watch. Suddenly, an oil tanker collided with the Spring Hill, setting off a conflagration. Flames and heavy smoke billowed from the injured ships, and all men were ordered to abandon ship. This said that the Spring Hill was a tanker that was struck by a foreign flag merchant ship, which was also an oil tanker, and they collided in New York Harbor, and the Spring Hill exploded and caught fire, but they were able to get it back in, so it didn't sink either. So it was, I don't know if he was lying and just making up a story or what, but either way, whether he was on a sinking ship or not, he got his 30 days and came home and married Lorraine. She would go on to say that after Ed left the service, he went to art school, and the couple thought they would become famous artists. So she said each of us had skills as landscape artists, and each harbored a desire to paint. But then they discovered that they could not make a living doing their artwork, and so they had to come up with other ideas to raise money or to earn money.
Sure
So
they did.
they came up with this, huh?
Sure they did.
Yeah, so they decided that after their brainstorming, they decided that they would create an unusual idea. They began to research homes that were thought to be haunted, and they would go to the sites and show up with their sketch pads, and with the homeowners watching, they would sketch the outside of the houses. And then they would show the pictures to the homeowner, and they would barter the pictures for information about the haunted house. And if the story was engrossing enough, she said that they would paint the house for their collection and sell it as art in the art shows. And that's how they would make their money. And so what's more intriguing than a haunted house story and painting to get people interested in purchasing your art? So they decided that they would travel around the country, listening to stories from homeowners. Lorraine was still unsure about the reality of the stories until they were consistent, and she couldn't help but start to believe that there was some truth to them. So different states, different houses, same types of stories. There seemed to be a pattern. And the patterns began to teach them more about spirits and hauntings. So I guess they were already coming up with some ways to make money off their haunted stuff. They understood that the homeowners could be a valuable research source for them. They hadn't originally intended for it to happen, but supernatural became their life's work. So in 1952, they created the New England Society for Paranormal Research. NESPR. They would spend the rest of their lives helping people deal with the uncanny and the supernatural. So, the early years in the paranormal field taught them that the situations came in two distinct kinds of things that require different approaches. So most of the hauntings had to do with human spirits that remained trapped here after their death. The cause of the death was usually a tragedy, just a death that came unexpectedly, or a life that had still had some unresolved trauma and they weren't able to let go yet. Ed would say, many times the ghost isn't even aware that the death has taken place. You often have to tell them. In fact, you've got to convince them that they're dead. One such instance they encountered was a nun named Sister Catherine. She died alone in her room in 1949. Decades later, sisters at the convent would hear a strange screaming in the chapel every night. Ed and Lorraine would discover that it coincided with the exact moment that Sister Catherine had died. They would commune with the spirit, and Lorraine figured out that the death needed to be acknowledged. So the sisters decided to hold a special mass for her. Catherine let out one more cry, one of relief, and then she was gone.
Dum, dum, dum. I know
haunting
James.
investigation.
I know James is just ready to he's over there just going, "Oh my god!"
You know what? I'm leaving it for now.
Gonna save it for the last bit.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, wait till you hear more about old Ed.
Mr. Frog.
So another haunting investigation took place in the residence of a West Point officer, where they met the spirit of a black porter named Greer. He had been accused of committing murder in the 19th century. He had been exonerated, yet still felt he had dishonored the army. Lorraine convinced him that the superiors of the man did not feel that way, and she convinced him it was time to move on. So both of these cases allowed the Warrens to serve as counselors to the dead. They would learn how to understand behaviors and allow them to provide comfort and release the spirits.
Now they're counselors?
Yes, they were ghost whisperers.
Shit. They ain't nothing. Come on, counselors? Amongst frauds? I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
And then
James
there's
is
the
just
second
over there
type.
just waiting. James just waiting.
Wait.
Have you read this yet?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh, then you're gonna like.
No,
you're
I
gonna really like
purposely
the
did.
Warrens.
I purposely didn't read it.
Okay, there was a second type of spirits, those with a lack of humanity. They had negative powers and the intent to terrorize and terrify people. The presence of them in a place would be described as physically repelling. Ed told that these consistently negative powers were so powerful and menacing that we did our best to avoid them in our work. Just to be in the same vicinity of the phenomenon was emotionally abysmal.
So they were talking about
But
themselves.
then we know, but as we know, they would not be able to stay from the darker demonic forces for long. As time would go on, Lorraine would suffer greatly as a result of their work. After World War II, interest in the occult surged in America. In 1954, Wicca was introduced to the public in England. It's a form of modern paganism, claiming its origins in pre-Christian religions. The Warrens were excited over the growing fascination with the supernatural and also them themselves rising up in fame. They
And
just
there it
needed a
is.
breakthrough to really make them stand out in the supernatural world.
Yep. Hmm.
They definitely liked the fame, didn't they?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's where their bullshit fame started. Yeah. Okay.
And then it says, then it happened in 1970.
Japan.
1970 arrived, and so did Annabelle the doll.
Annabelle just mysteriously
Two
happened
roommates.
to show up.
Two roommates named Donna and Angie lived in an apartment with the Raggedy Ann doll that Donna had received as a gift from her mother. The girls soon began to notice the doll would move around from place to place. It would also leave notes for them like, "Help me!" Angie had her boyfriend over one night, and he woke up to find the Annabelle doll attempting to strangle him. Maybe she thought he was Andy. The Raggedy.
Well, it's a stuffed doll. You can defend yourself against a stuffed doll, even if it's possessed.
So what's it
I know.
for?
I have a possessed doll, and it's never tried to strangle me. I just pick it up at an arm's length away and be like, just go over there.
Well, I never knew about the Annabelle doll, or that it was Raggedy Ann. But Raggedy Ann used to freak me out. So anyway, after they found the dolls trying to strangle him, and he discovered it was a benevolent spirit of a 7-year-old named Annabelle Higgins. And the girls asked the medium for help, and they told her that the doll was possessed. And the Warrens were called, and they decided that the spirit was not benevolent, and insisted the best way to handle the situation would be to remove the doll. And where did it go? It went to become the most famous piece in the Warrens Occult Museum. It is said that you can't touch the Annabelle doll because it's believed to be a vessel for a malevolent inhuman spirit that can cause paranormal activity and possess people. The Warrens kept the doll locked in a blessed and protected case to contain the evil, and touching it is a dangerous invitation for the spirit to cause harm. The Warrens would say that the spirit in the doll could transfer to somebody else if it was touched. Many people found holes in their story. There is a doll, but there's nothing to support the Annabelle case. The story is also much like the 1963 Twilight Zone episode called Living Doll, which also had an Annabelle doll in it. Coincidence?
No.
Stealing the story from fiction? We may never know.
Yep. Oh,
Well,
they stole it. Come on.
They say not to touch it. It invites the demons in. But didn't our favorite investigator touch the Annabelle doll on one of his shows? And nothing happened. Just saying. By the way, Julie says, glass stops evil. Remember that. She's a professor, Dr. Professor.
Yes.
We're just
No. Well, the Annabelle doll did go out on that trip recently, but that guy ended up dying from a heart attack.
Yeah, it wasn't
It wasn't
doll
the doll.
related. No, it was
The doll wasn't even in the room, I heard.
yeah,
And it burned down a whole bunch of places along all the stops. So
supposedly.
yeah, that's what we ought to do. Is we ought to do a movie about a haunted Annabelle doll and just play it off the right way. It would take all 5 minutes.
If that.
It would be. Haunted doll. It's possessing something. We investigate the haunted doll. Then we light it on fire.
Ooh.
No more doll, no more possession.
There you go.
Not going to burn my doll, though. I know that guy's got something. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, your friend can get him at Goodwill anytime. They always have Raggedy Ann dolls at Goodwill.
Oh, yeah.
Now that really makes me not want to go get one.
I think we got rid of the ones here at my house. Anyway, so the Warrens had an occult museum that was in a house, but they sold it, or after the Warrens died, and it was sold to Matt Rife, who would go on to say, "We are the legal guardians and caretakers of all 750 haunted artifacts and items in the Warren Museum, including the Annabelle doll. We don't legally own the items, but we are the legal guardians and caretakers for at least the next 5 years." But the museum was closed to the public in 2019 due to a combination of zoning issues, financial burdens, and the family's difficulty in maintaining the property after Lorraine Warren died. The museum was located in the back of the Warrens' private residence and was shut down because it was a residential property being used for non-residential purposes. However, comedian Matt Rife and YouTube personality Elton Castee announced in August of 2025 that they purchased the home and the artifacts and plan to reopen the museum for public tours next September, so in 2026.
Yeah, they're talking about doing it as a bed and breakfast, and it's $200 a night. And then if you want to go into the museum, I think it was like another $100, and then you have to use all of their equipment for $50. So you can't bring in your own stuff. And everything you videotape, they have to edit out what they don't like before they give it back to you.
Yeah, no.
So,
Oh my
I mean,
goodness. That's a
Well,
ripoff.
Well, if you've got absolutely nothing, then you still have to give all your evidence to them, and then they would probably edit it so that there was something. Because it's going to be a
Oh, of
haunted
course.
attraction. Julie said it does really make sense.
Well, how much was the doll insured for? She was asking as well. Do we know that?
Blipped out on that one. Talking about the Annabelle doll, and we start blipping.
Yeah, see? Uh-huh.
It's a demon. Doesn't want us talking about it.
Okay, it says that the entire property museum collection was valued over $500,000, but it wasn't given a separate price tag.
Well, I guess divide that up amongst all the other shit that they got there, which probably has nothing going on with any of it. They just a collector, hoarder.
Oh, it says it's considered. It says it's considered priceless,
Oh, whatever.
but it says you can get a vintage Raggedy Ann doll for $15.
So it's worth $15. Straight up there. There you go.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't insure anything for that. Nope.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tina.
So now, back to the nitty gritty on the Warrens.
Oh, okay.
They
If we
portrayed
must.
themselves. Well, here's where you really get to learn about Ed.
Ah, shit. Do I really?
So they portrayed themselves as a normal, wholesome family. They focused on faith and family, but they had hidden secrets. In 2014, a woman came forward to tell her story. Her name was Judith Penny. She accused Ed of having a relationship that spanned over 40 years, that started when she was a 15-year-old high school student, and Ed was a 30-some-year-old bus driver, school bus driver. She would say that she lived with the couple. It says that she was arrested in 1963 due to the laws of the time. Her crime was being a single woman cohabitating with a married man. So she was still a youth, and so when she refused to admit the affair, they sent her to a delinquent youth center for a month. And Penny would go on to say that Lorraine knew about the affair, as Ed would say that young Judith was the love of his life. The Warrens would tell people that she was their niece or some poor local girl that they took in. Well, it got worse
Oh, man.
because Judith got pregnant. Judith got
That's
pregnant
all.
by old Ed
Sick little
in
bastard.
1978. Yeah. And so Lorraine said, hey, you've got two options. Option one, she could say that she was raped and had no idea who the father was, or she could have an abortion. Because she said, if word got out about Judith and Ed, it would cause their reputation serious harm. So she had an abortion. She would go on to tell how physically and emotionally abusive Ed was towards Lorraine. And she would also say that she worked with Ed to stage photos and posed as a ghost on occasion
Told you.
for their
Freaking ass
investigations.
frauds. Yep.
Yeah. Lorraine and their daughter, whose also name was Judy, defended that Ed was innocent and they had no knowledge about the true relationship with Ed. But Judith would testify in court that Ed would sleep downstairs with Lorraine one night, and the next night he'd sleep upstairs with Judith. But since they're both dead, there's no way to ask them, to tell us all about their story, which they would deny anyway.
Of course they would.
And so some people believe that the Warrens were nothing other than a wholesome, kind couple who only wanted to help people. And they wouldn't do such a thing as what Judith Penny had claimed. Ed wouldn't do that. But she would also go on to say that the Warrens, they may be religious, but their real God was money.
Yeah.
So, as we know, the Warrens are a hugely controversial couple inside and outside of the paranormal world. The Conjuring series claims to be based on a true story. However, Lorraine had her contract with New Line Cinema had a special clause in it, and she was a consultant to the movie, but her clause stipulated that the films could not show her or her husband engaging in crimes, including sex with minors, child pornography, prostitution, sexual assault, and neither the husband or wife could be depicted in an extramarital sexual relationships. Well, there had to be a reason why that was put in the clause.
And Jason's going.
Otherwise-
Fairly.
Well, what we got here? Couple sick fucks.
Yeah, so
I
if
got
that stuff
no
wasn't
vote.
going on, she wouldn't have put it in there.
Right? Uh-huh. Now we're really getting down into the nitty gritty.
I had fun with this one.
I mean, yeah, the question is, but why that put in the clause of the contract? Did the filming crews or whoever really dig up that kind of information to help, build this movie up?
Well, it may have came out after the court stuff that Judith Penny had said, or she was already talking. So, but I don't know.
Oh, I'll just leave it. There's so much to this. I can just no. I don't want to dash somebody's dreams, hopes, and dreams of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh, that's okay. There's more.
Of course there is.
So the couple,
Let's bring it on.
the couple would go on to have tons of media appearances, write a ton of books, have movies made about him, and conduct many more cases. One night, Lorraine was freaked out by a vision. It showed her husband being killed by being impaled by a sharp object from the demon Valak, the demon nun who had tricked him. The demon would torment her and warn that if she continued working as a paranormal investigator, the entity would soon kill or harm him. She got so freaked out that she locked herself away for 8 days.
Or was it because of the fact that there was a underage girl in the house and she couldn't deal with things?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
So,
Mental breakdown. Uh-huh. The guilt has finally set in.
So the couple welcomed their daughter Judy on January 11th, 1946, although I found 3 different birth dates for over a span of 10 years, so I don't know which one was correct. But she would share that due to her parents' schedule, she lived with her grandparents while she was growing up. She said, my parents traveled so much and I had to go to school, so I just lived with them briefly. I was terrified there in their house, so I just didn't sleep there. I couldn't sleep in a room by myself. Well, probably because her parents had other people there.
You would think.
That
Question is how many?
So she would. Yeah, don't know about these people. But she would go on to marry Tony Sfera, who ended up taking over the family business later on. Judy and her husband, Tony, run the New England Society for Psychic Research, which is her parents' paranormal investigation company. So both the Warrens have passed on. Ed Warren's cause of death was complications from a stroke at the age of 79, and he passed away on August 23rd, 2006. Lorraine Warren died April 18th, 2019 at the age of 92. She passed away peacefully in her home in Monroe, Connecticut, and they're both buried at the Stepney Cemetery there. So the Warrens are very well known by almost anyone who has watched horror movies and interested in the paranormal or seen books on the supernatural, demons, or exorcisms. What's your opinion? Were they hoaxers, frauds, or attention seekers?
All the above.
So, in an expert from the Art Crime Archive, they said in this statement, when you start hearing knocking noises and whispers in an empty house, who will you call? Ed and Lorraine Warren.
No, the real Ghostbusters.
Ed and Lorraine Warren. Yeah. You call DBK.
Or Guardian Angel.
So they were a well-known couple in the paranormal industry of encountering haunted houses, dark entities, and possessed items and people. They were called on by families to investigate their houses for hauntings and demonic energy. They were contacted to conduct exorcisms and seances for the demons to go away. They were the couple who helped others in the 1950s and investigated over 10,000 cases. Their most well-known cases were the Amityville Horror, Annabelle the Doll, the Enfield Poltergeist, the Arnie Cheyenne Johnson case, and the Perrin family. Despite that, Ed and Lorraine helped many individuals and families. They exploited them for more fame in the media and the movie franchise The Conjuring. The reality of Ed and Lorraine is that they were frauds and grifters. Ed was a self-taught demonologist, while Lorraine claimed she was a light trance medium and clairvoyant. Ed and Lorraine have made $1.2 billion from their franchise built on false, sensational paranormal cases. They were known to be wonderful storytellers and get people fascinated by the supernatural. But at what cost? They were frauds to pioneer the movement of ghost investigations, demonology, seances, and possession. It poses the questions: did the Warrens have good intentions for their paranormal investigations? Did they mainly take cases for fame to become well known? So I found on one website that they were pretty wealthy. And they left an indelible mark on the realm of the supernatural. They had a combined net worth of $97 million by 2024. And the duo turned their eerie encounters into a profitable legacy. And captivating audiences worldwide. But, so Judy and Tony should have inherited a mass fortune. And however, the reason why they sold the Warren home to Matt Rife, they couldn't afford to keep up their home and the Warrens Museum. And she was really concerned about the artifacts, which is why she made Rife just the guardian of them.
So where the hell all that money go?
I know, right? And I guess that's what I've got. Now it's time for us to talk about these crazy people.
Crazy is beyond words. They're sick,
yeah, I really
perverted, dastardly.
Told you it was scandalous.
In more ways than one. How many young people did they actually have in their home? Not just the females,
Well, it said
the
one.
males. Well, it just says one, but honestly, how many were there? Not just the females. I'm sure there had to have been some males there for Lorraine. You gotta get her little bit in there. It goes to say, I have my lousy 2 cents about Ed and Lorraine. Everyone's entitled to their opinions on them. Some people could swear godly by them, that they did no wrong. But just the facts right here is just part of the bullshit behind the real Ed and Lorraine. The alter egos.
So I think you could basically take Ed and Lorraine, and you can basically put them in the same category as some of our favorite TV stars, entertainers.
And they'll all be that way. They'll go down together. Maybe they'll meet in the afterlife and discuss how they frauded all these people out of their money. Oh, shit. I didn't just go there. I did.
So I just came across something that says that Judy Warren is worth $3 million to $6 million, which is a lot less than the $97 million that she should have inherited.
But the question still needs to be asked. Where the hell all that money go? Did it go to charity? Did they just go to the state? Did it go, or did the daughter just blow all that money? Because she's starting to sound a little scandalous.
Or maybe, yeah. I'm betting her husband, when he was running the business, probably did some
Embezzled.
things. But that's just my thoughts.
Well, I do know that the Warren's grandson is currently living in Asia, and he's running a whole separate paranormal group. It's not the original. He calls it the Warren's Paranormal Something. And he has no contact with his mom or Tony Sparrow. Because there was a huge blowout, and I know he's been very vocal on TikTok and Instagram videos with the movies coming out, and he's always telling them that that's not how these things happened. These are all sensationalized. He thinks that, they're not portraying his real grandfather the way it should be.
Yeah. the kind of guy he really.
So his
truly
name is Chris McKinnell.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So is he pro Ed and Lorraine or anti Ed and Lorraine?
He's anti mom and dad, but he still respects his grandma grandpa. He still
Okay.
respects what they taught him.
Well,
Well, the thing is, I mean, like, you know, if your grandpa was your hero, you know, in a certain sense, he could do no wrong. But he's
Yeah.
also willing to let you know, hey, what you're seeing in the movies is not what really happens.
I just, yeah, I mean, I guess if they did a little mentorship of the grandson, as long as he is actually taking it for what it really truly is and not do the, oh, I'm just going to do it for fame and all that. I'll give it to him for that.
Well, he's definitely not going out for fame. I mean, he's not even in the U.S. He's moved literally half a world away from his parents, who he has no contact with.
Well, then I would say if he keeps it that way and he is truly in the field to help other people, then all power to him. I'll give that much to the Warrens. If they actually honestly gave him some truthful or helpful information and techniques into the paranormal, then I will give that to the Warrens. If, you know.
Yeah.
We already know the Warrens. Yeah.
So the grandson, Chris McKinnell, posted this on Facebook. My grandparents, Ed and Lorraine Warren, never treated the paranormal as entertainment. To them, it was about protecting families and offering compassion and bringing peace where fear had taken hold. I've carried that mission forward through the Warren Legacy Foundation, and I continue to share both the history of my grandparents' works and the truth I've discovered from my own 40 plus years of investigations around the world. And he said that the Hartford Courant had just ran a story on him, and he said that it was the finest piece of journalism about my grandparents and my work that had ever been done. And then he included it onto the Facebook post. But let's see. But yeah, I guess Lorraine hated the Annabelle doll. And it says many stories aren't true have been circulated about Annabelle, including that a motorcyclist was killed after taunting it at the Occult Museum. The story was made up to cover the real story that a visiting priest was nearly killed in an accident after messing with Annabelle.
But that could also be a coincidence.
Yeah.
True.
So he had disagreed with allowing the Annabelle doll to go on tour to make money. And yeah, that's pretty much what it says.
Put all those supposed artifacts and stuff on tour like a circus.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to do that and jeopardize anyone and everyone that comes in to look at it or to be in contact with any of that? That's just totally irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, as I was reading all this information and stuff, I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah, I mean, of all the things I knew about Ed and Lorraine, I did not know about the 15-year-old. That's news to me right there, and that right there just solidifies my opinion of Ed and Lorraine. I mean, to tell the kid that
I knew you.
have an abortion.
I knew
or
I'd
say
have you
she got raped.
surprised on that one.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Edward the
whole
pedophile.
Yeah. And you may as well say Lorraine is too for just going along with it. I mean, how could you ask a 15-year-old to have an abortion or say you were raped and you don't know who the father is? You're going to screw up that child's life already. I mean, you're already doing it by screwing around with her.
And I don't know about you guys, but when I was would see his picture, it's like he reminded me of a sleaze bag. Just it's like those that you see on those old movies.
Uh-huh.
And then I was thinking, it's like, I think I saw a dead body once at the side of a freeway. It's like, it looks kind of like that.
Roadkill. Oh my God.
Well, the only thing that we could probably agree on is because of the fact they were famous and bringing the paranormal to a higher stage, it did set the stage for other investigators to get into the field. We could easily say that about you-know-who, bottom of the screen, that because of the fact that he's famous and has everything else, it has inspired a whole new generation of investigators to take up.
Wannabe investigators.
I never said it was perfect.
I mean, if they're going to follow him, then they would be wannabe investigators.
Well, if you take his handbook and you run with it, it's always, do you hear something? It's a demon. Run away. Ah!
Yep.
Is it behind me?
It was totally a demon.
Are you serious? Yep.
But a lot of people have liked the movies, so it has kept people entertained.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched any of them. I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah, at this point in time, I'm not going to watch any of them because right now to watch them, I'd have to pay to watch them. And I'm not doing that. Freak no.
Yeah, I bet Mom has the whole collection in her room.
Jamie Logan says, and then you don't feel well when it possesses you every time. Maybe that's what we're missing on our YouTube videos, James, is none of us are getting possessed.
Well, we know a certain
Just
team,
a little tipsy.
not even, but we do know a certain team that one of their members doesn't mind being possessed. We could throw him to the wolves.
Little shout out to Paranormal Parkour.
You guys know we love you. Just kidding.
It's all love. All love with the
man.
Paranormal family. We got to mess with you, Connor.
Yeah, we got to, man. We have to.
I mean,
You're
we did.
They're the new breed.
They're the little brothers. They're the little brothers of us. We've actually named our flying camera drone Connor, CNR2.
He should feel real honored. Well,
Like I told him, it's all out of love and respect. It's all out of love and respect.
Right. But we're going to have to figure something out because little Josh will feel a little jealous that you named something after Connor.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, hell.
So I got to get him back up on the Squatch hunt and feed him off to a Bigfoot.
At this point, Dogman. Oh.
I say we got 4 minutes left. We can almost wrap this one up because I don't think James can handle much more on the Warrens.
Yeah, well, yeah, that and I think kind of keep it a little mellow, you know. Just a little. I need a lot more to drink.
I think we've covered everything about the Warrens tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, everyone knows my opinion of Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think they're just god-awful people, a lot of hoaxing, a lot of fraud. They're just in it for the fame. Everyone else has their opinion of them, and everyone's got their right to have that opinion. I'll respect yours if you respect mine. So, yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead and Tammy, any closing thoughts?
I'm happy that we're done with things related to the Warrens for a while.
Oh, come on. You know
That
next
one
week
was-
something's going to come up.
I don't know, we're doing cryptids.
We're back.
doing
But yeah,
Alaska-
they'll be back.
Cryptids and Ghosts of Alaska is December, and then Ghosts of Route 66 is January.
All right. We're getting back.
That one's going to be fun too.
Oh, we got a question about how you guys feel about Taps and Jason Hawes.
Jason Hawes, I think, has got a little bit more of a better reputation because it's not all about the show. He's actually tries to help.
Absolutely. Of all the shows, paranormal shows, ghost hunting shows, whatever you name it, that I've watched over the years, Taps Ghost Hunters was the better of all of them. He, like you said, he truly wants to help people. He's not out there for the fame. And evidence-wise, if he doesn't have anything, he will tell you they didn't get anything.
Well,
And
the dude's still
if
working
they
on
do-
Roto-Rooter.
Yeah, he's working a normal job, a 9-to-5 job or whatever. But I mean, and if he does have evidence, he'll give you that evidence. He will also give you his opinion what it could be. You know, if he's not 100% sure, he'll say, "I'm not 100% sure. It could be this or it could be that." He doesn't know. He is truthful and honest. You know, when Grant was on this show, I mean, I've met Grant when their Comic-Con here years ago. But between the two, I'd say Jason Hawes is more reputable than Ed and Lorraine. I'm actually subscribed to his YouTube channel, and I watch stuff from him all off and on throughout the weeks. So, you know, I love it. I respect his opinion.
Yeah.
And
All right, James. You want to start us off?
who, me?
Yeah, you want to give the closing?
All right. Keep your cryptids close and tight. Hug them all night. Until next week. I may or may not be here.
See everybody later.